Hi guys, Niklaus Bauer here again. And topic of today or tonight, whenever you're watching this film, is going to be a killer perch fly. This is one of my favorite big perch fly. This is the famous Clouser minnow, originally developed and tied by Bob Clouser. It's a fantastic pattern. The only thing I have done to this pattern is basically add an even more fantastic tail. This is a dragon tail from Paolo, Pacchiarini in Italy, and this is a medium size. This makes this pattern even better in my opinion. I would say there's a lot of good perch flies, but I really have a bunch of this in my fly boxes in different colors. We're gonna have one which is quite fluorescent, and I like to make what I call like a flash head. So I put Opal magnum flash around the head and also on the body, so you get that nice flash when it sinks. I just think that adds quite a lot to the pattern. Very good pattern in my opinion, and even if you're fishing it with a tail or without a tail, it's one of those killer patterns because it sinks in a special way compared to the jig patterns we're normally using for perch. So for these patterns and a lot of baitfish patterns in smaller sizes today, I'm actually using a new product, fairly new product on the market called a Doetail. And this is the female version of a Bucktail. And I think it's super good for this type of flies, you know. The fibers are slightly softer, slightly thinner in diameter. The tails are also a little bit thinner or smaller, but it's just a more gentle hair compared to the Bucktail. And they also work for pike, of course, but you cannot tie the biggest flies with them. But for sea trout flies, baitfish patterns, salmon sea trout flies, it's just, in my opinion, a much better product than a Bucktail. So check them out, Doetail, the girls. This is going to be tied on a Partridge attitude streamer on a size 2, which I think is a perfect hook for this. As you can see, it's already prepped and in the vise. I have a dumbbell here, and you can change different size of dumbbells depending on how fast you want the fly to sink. But you have to go in fairly heavy weight so you make the fly turn in any case. If you overdress them, you have a pattern which is not really as good as if you keep them slightly lightly, sparsely dressed. The extension for the tail is basically fluorocarbon. For us in Scandinavia, it's like 0.35, and I would say in pound test it's around 20 pound test. So, and then I put a small tippet ring in the end here, and then I put the fast attach onto the tail. If you want to make this super tight and very neat, then you can take away the tippet ring and then just make a small loop and you tie the tail directly to the nylon. The negative thing with that is that usually when you catch like 30-40 perch, these tails becomes stretched out and you want to change it. And so I always want to have this fast attach here so I can change tails quickly, and also if I want to change from a lighter color to a darker color, I think it's super good to be able to change it. And then just a fluorescent 3mm bead and tippet ring, size 1 or 2 millimeters, and then a fast attach. So that's what we're going to put on here. Let's go. there we have it. Classic Clouser with silver dragon tail in medium. Killer perch pattern. Quite simple to tie, easy with a few materials, and well, overall very good pattern. If you want to win this pattern, please subscribe and leave a comment, and you might have a chance for that, or we might have a few more if we could to give out those also. So stay tuned, tie flies, and catch a big perch. See you later.